Ladies and gentlemen.
So if you're sick or if you're on a maternity leave or if you recently lost your job and you have no luck finding a new job, then you can apply for something called employee insurance, which is offered by the Canadian government. And this video will help you answer all your questions about what EI is, how to apply for EI, what's the process like, how much time does it take for you to get the EI, and moreover, we'll be going through a step-by-step process on how to apply for EI. So I hope you stick to this video and watch this till the very end. And I hope that all your questions are answered by the end of this video. If you're new to this channel, welcome to AXC Allianz Canada, where I tell you all the important information you need to know in order to be a student in Canada. So today's video will be broken down into 5 different steps. Firstly, we'll talk about what is EI. Secondly, we'll talk about the various benefits included in EI. Thirdly, we'll talk about the eligibility for EI. Then we'll talk about the benefits of EI. And last but not least, I'll give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to apply for your own EI. In my case, I recently got sick last month and I applied for EI, which got approved. So I can guide you better in this video because I went through the same process and I can help you guys get the same EI benefit that I got. So let's talk about what is EI. EI is a temporary benefit given by the government of Canada to everyone, all the workers. You don't have to be a Canadian citizen. You can even be a student or on a work permit, or you can even be a PR. You don't necessarily have to be a citizen for that. And you can apply for EI if you lose your job, if you're sick, or if you're on leave from your work, and if you cannot find work. And if you got laid off and if it's not your fault, then you can apply for EI very easily. It's gonna take like 10 minutes at max. It's basically a temporary support from the government of Canada to everyone in Canada. So let's say if you're not getting paid, you're getting a support from EI. That's just so that you can pay your rent, you can pay your utility bills. Not a lot of people know about this, and a lot of people are jobless in Canada. And so this video is going to help you guys a lot. It will ease your financial burdens, and I hope you learned something from this video. So if you guys notice your paycheck carefully, and if you guys see your paycheck, you're gonna see that every paycheck you pay a small amount in CPP, which is the pension plan, and EI, which is employee insurance. Eventually what happens is that EI adds up. If you lose your job, you can claim that EI from the government. It's like an insurance for unemployed people. Now, there are various criteria that you guys need to fulfill before getting the EI payments and in order to access this benefit. So let's talk about the criteria first. Now, depending on the unemployment rate in your area, you need to have at least 400 to 720 hours of work in the last 52 weeks in order to qualify to get an EI payment. So your first step is going to be checking the unemployment rate in your area and then totaling the number of hours worked in the last 52 weeks. And if your hours match this chart, which is shown on the screen, then you qualify for the EI payment. Let's say your area has 5% unemployment rate. Then you need to have at least 700 insurable hours in the last 52 weeks to be qualified for the EI payments. If you work less than 700 hours, you won't be accepted for EI. So make sure you check this criteria before applying for the EI process itself. So the next criteria in order to get the EI is that you should lose your job with no fault of your own and you don't violate your contract. Then only you will be allowed for the EI benefit. Secondly, you should be actively looking for work. You should show the government that you're looking for work and you're applying to jobs, and they might even ask you proof of that. And lastly, you need to be out of work for at least 7 days in order to get the EI payments. So the first week you won't get any payment, but the payments will start from the next week. So the minimum criteria will be 7 days, which you won't have a job. Now, once you meet these qualifications, then you will qualify for the EI benefits. Somebody from the government will call you and they will ask you about your case. The more details you give them, the better for you. I got a call as well, and it was a 10-minute call where we discussed my case and they approved it right away. So make sure you're confident on the call and you don't miss out on any information. So you can get a maximum of $668 depending on your earning. Because my earning was more than the average, then I got $668 minus a $70 federal tax. But this EI payment depends on your earning. So it starts from $100 a week up to $668 a week, which is the maximum. Now, if you're out of work, you can claim these benefits for 45 weeks, considering that you're actively looking for jobs. But if you're sick and you file a claim for a sick benefit, you can actually get this benefit for 1 year, but you need to have a doctor's note supporting that you will be sick for a year. and you're not ready to work. So you should have a doctor's note, and they will require you some medical documents as well. And your medical case has to be really strong in order for you to get the sickness benefits for 1 year. Now let's go on to my computer screen, and I will show you step-by-step tutorial on how to apply for EI benefits on the website itself. So your first step will be searching for apply EI online on Google or any other browser. Basically, you're gonna type in apply EI and click on the first link, which is apply for regular benefits. Once you're here, you're gonna scroll down to the page, and if you want, you can read this information, but I will give you a quick rundown on how to apply for the benefits, but do read it if you need to. Make sure you mark all these checklists before you apply, because you need to have these documents before you apply. Your SIN number, last name at birth of one of your parents, your mailing or residential address, your banking information, which you will receive the payments for, details of all your employers, their names, their addresses, and the government will also call them, so make sure it's the right email address and the right number for the last 52 weeks. Okay, once you read all the information, hit apply here. Start application. And then they will ask you, are you trying to retrieve an application that you began within the last 72 hours but did not complete? If it's the case, then try yes. But if you're starting a new application, type in no and then click continue. What type of benefits would you like to claim? Benefits for employees. Unless you're self-employed, click the benefits for employees. Continue. Okay, so were you a part of a group layoff? If that's the case, select yes, but I wasn't, so I'll select no. Continue. And then you have a list of benefits that you can apply for. Regular benefits if you lose a job, fishing benefits, sickness benefits if you're sick, and if your condition, if you cannot work, you can even apply for sickness benefits. This is the one that I got. Maternity benefits, parental benefits, caregiver and family caregiver benefits. So let's do regular benefits, because that's usually the case and that's what everybody is applying for. So you will need all this information: your SIN number, your parents' names, your mailing address and home address, your banking information, the details of all the employers you worked for in the last 52 weeks, as well as the date of employments and layoffs, or if you left the employment, then the last day worked. Select continue. Write your SIN number. So you type in your SIN number, your date of birth here, last name, first name, other given name, last name at birth, gender, your parents' last name. Once you do that, you will select continue. Once you do that, you will get a temporary password from them. Just take a screenshot of this password and do not share this with anyone. Then they will ask you which language you prefer. I prefer English, and most of you will prefer English, so select English here. Write your email address, your phone number, and your mailing address as well, and then click continue. After that, they will ask you for a status. Just select which one works for you. For most cases, it will be a visible minority, so select that and select continue. They will ask you for your tax slips, but you don't have to submit your tax slips. And in my case, I did not submit my tax slips. They already had my tax slips. So just make sure that they have your tax slips. They ask you for your income tax information. I selected that I will access it online from MSCA account. Make sure you have your own MSCA account. That's where you will get your approval, and that's where you know more details. They ask you more about your tax situation, so mine is basic. But if you have a spouse, you can select basic and spouse. So I did not have a claim, so I'll select no. I have my banking information with me. If you don't have it, you can do it later on as well. Continue. Just add your banking information like the check number, branch number, account number, transit number as well. Next, they ask you some personal questions like your education. So mine is college. Are you a member of a union? No. If you are, you can select yes as well. Are you a permanent resident or citizen? I am not, so you can select if you are. They ask you about your permit. I'm on a study permit right now and it is valid as well. You add the date from when it started to when it is ending. Have you submitted an application? So if you have submitted an application for extension of your permit, you can say yes or no. I haven't, so I'll select no. Let's select a date as well. So let's say it's valid till 2025, June 17th. Continue. Now they're asking for a proof of work authorization. So if you have a study permit which says that you can work in Canada, you can add that study permit here in the Dropbox. And if you don't have that, and if you have an external work permit which says that you can work, you can attach that work permit here and then press continue. Have you worked since you completed your last application? You select no, continue. So if you live in Quebec, now they ask if you take any benefits from Quebec. Because I don't live there, I live in Ontario, so I didn't take any benefits, so I'll select no, continue. Have you received money through the workers' compensation on your last day of work from your employer? I did not, so I'll select no. Are you receiving or will be receiving a pension within the next 52 weeks? Not right now, it's only when you retire, so select no. So since the last filing, have you been in jail? If you have, select yes. I haven't, so I'll select no. Are you self-employed or other than fishing or farming? I am not, so select no. Do you or will you declare farming income? No. If you will, select yes. Are you taking or will be taking any course or training program? If you will, select yes, but I don't. Generally, we don't. Did someone assist you in completing this application? No. I did assist you, but you don't have to mention that. Now, carefully read the rights and responsibilities. Make sure you read all these 6 pages in order for you to be aware of the program and how you will be paid, and more about the employee insurance program so you don't break any law or rule. Then select continue, continue, continue again. Make sure you read all this information. Then I accept my rights and responsibilities. Select continue again. Then accept, submit, and that's how you apply for an AI benefit. If you have any more questions, do let me know, and hopefully this video did help you guys a lot. That's how you apply for an AI benefit. Pretty straightforward and simple. I hope you learned something new from this video. See you in the next video. Take care.